No, I'm going to take a Pardon? Hi, Rob. Can you hear me?
I can
Emily,
hear you.
Rob?
Hello,
Hmm.
Can't hear you yet. Oops,
can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
Yep, good. Call this meeting to order at 6:30 PM on Monday, September 22nd. Port of Johnstown Management Committee meeting held in the council chambers in Spencerville. I need a mover and a seconder for the approval. Sorry for called order. Sorry. Number 2, approval of the agenda. I need a mover. Moved by Mr. Disha and second by Mr. Ward. All in favor? Thank you. Number 3, disclosure of pecuniary interest, conflict of interest, or general nature thereof, and if any. Thank you. Delegations and presentations. Number 4, draft of the Port of Johnstown Strat Plan presented by Rob Adams and Emily Adams. 10 minutes, Rob, but I'll give you a couple more minutes if needed.
Okay, terrific.
You're
Well,
on.
thank you. Thank you very much, Your Worship and members of council. Appreciate the opportunity to share with you the terrific work that you and your staff team did in preparing the strategic plan for the Port of Johnstown. And on behalf of Town Hall Consulting, Emily and myself, it was a pleasure to be able to work with you. We've put together a very significant plan, which really outlines some superb strategic direction for the port. And so I'll maybe just go to the first couple of, through the first couple of pages. And I wanted to get to the community engagement piece. And a really, really important piece of the draft strategic plan was being able to engage the public and hear what they had to say. And so there was very strong support from the community. They, across the board, agreed to the vision, mission, and values that you identified. As well, they strongly supported the priority areas. And so what we did was we slightly refined those based on the feedback that we got, as well as your terrific work in our strategic planning sessions. And we put together the vision, and the vision is to enrich our community by being the port of choice in Eastern Ontario. And I think the vision says it all. It's a very strong vision. The mission is to support foreign and domestic trade and economic development through full service logistics. Once again, a very strong mission. And as well, you identified the values: safety, teamwork, accountability, efficiency, and respect. And all these were very strongly supported by the community. So how do we get where we want to go? Well, in the strategic plan, the feedback that we received from your staff and from your board and from the community feedback that we got, and specifically from your general manager, who provided a lot of good insight to help us make this robust, identified some key areas. And one is governance and management. Under governance and management, there were a number of objective areas. One was to enhance inventory management, be proactive with capital budget planning, review the ownership structure, and improve communication. And there are a number of action items under each of those, along with a measure of progress. The next item was optimize and upgrade operational roles and responsibilities. And I understand some of that's happening already, which is terrific. The next major category, 2.0, was infrastructure and maintenance. And under that particular area, we had increased preventative maintenance for sustainability and longevity, making sure that regular maintenance happens, ensures a smooth operation. Modernize the infrastructure was another key element. And there are a number of action items and measures of progress under that one. As well, there was to increase efficiency through customization and as well optimize technology. And the use of technology can really help with the operations. And finally, attract and retain staff. So being able to effectively attract staff, but also retain the great staff that you have is a really important piece of that operational efficiency and optimization. The third category is operational efficiency and optimization, and it was to improve workplace culture, to really try to work on that through a number of action items. The fourth area was economic growth and business development, and here it was identified to enhance diversity of revenue streams, upgrade and implement marketing to expand partnerships, revenue, and customer engagement, examine and review partnerships, and promote winter berthing and maintenance upgrades. So those were under economic growth and business development. And finally, under environmental and regulatory compliance, improve salt management, improve dust containment, reduce optimization for spill hazards, and advanced environmental sustainability, which was an important piece in wanting to be a good environmental steward of the port. And so those are the highlights of the Port of Johnstown strategic plan. I think together we've put together a terrific plan. I can't thank you, the committee, the Board of Management, and as well the public for their input, and specifically to Leslie, who did a terrific job really pulling together the details and information that we got from everyone. At this time, Emily and I would be delighted to answer any questions you might have.
Well, thank you. First of all, Rob and Emily, thank you very much for this. It was well done. I read it several times. It's great. This is the second one we've done together. We did our own with the township. So I'll let it go for questions and comments if anybody wants to get involved in this. And Rob, it's I'm chairing it, Deputy Mayor.
I'm sorry, Mr. Deputy Mayor.
No, that's fine. I'll take mayor any day. So don't worry about it. Okay, Rob, thanks.
I can see you there now.
No, that's fine. There we go. For questions, comments, I'm just going to open it up. So if anybody wants to jump in, Randy, I'll go with you. I'll start over there. Please with Mike.
Nothing to add, just other than just echo your comments. A great report, great work by everybody, and nice to see the community feedback and that was good participation. Obviously, everybody at the port. So very, very nicely done.
Flip?
I'd basically say the same as Randy. I think it's a good, solid report overall. I like the mission and the vision statement. I think it's very inclusive. I think it gives us the scope that we wanted, and happy to see the values with safety at the top. I think that's very important for the environment that we work in or the port functions in, and teamwork falling right behind that. So, and efficiency in there as well, accountability, respect, you know what, and some great picks to back it all up. So no, all positive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cameron. Mr. McCauley.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. And again, Rob, I'd echo the comments around a great presentation. And I have one question. In terms of how the strategic priority tables are lined out, did you give any thought to adding a who column? Who is responsible? Because as I read through it, I have a fear that Leslie's name is in every box, and one person can't possibly do all of that. So would this benefit from actually identifying the who responsible for that specific priority, and perhaps that allows it to move forward more quickly?
Yeah, terrific question. Oh, through you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, absolutely terrific question. I can say that we try to keep the plan simple without adding too many columns, but we're actually in the process. Once this is approved, this is a draft. We wanted to seek your approval first. We will be working with Leslie and team to put it into a software tool that she'll use to manage the priorities. And we actually have who is responsible, what the delivery dates are for those, when the deliverables have to happen, and it's all managed in that software piece. And we will actually come back 6 months later to make sure that the tool's working as Leslie hoped and that she's making progress with it. We will make sure that we identify the other members of the team who may have a role in, or if it's a committee, play a role together collectively in delivering those objectives.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Smell?
Thank you, Your Worship. I think it's just have to echo the comments everyone else has already put together. I think it was a great presentation, and I did like the photos. There were some pretty good photos in there. So anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Mayor?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Rob and Emily, for yet another good strategic plan and the work that you've put in this. It certainly reflects, a pathway forward for the next 5 years, or potentially longer. Since we started the process, sort of the goal lines, the world's changed a little bit, and there's a lot more focus on a Canada first outlook, and embedded in this, there's lots of, Canadian implications, lots of domestic stuff. Just my only question would be, is there a way to put something in, especially over the next 5 years, the next 3 years, we're going to be dealing, with the administration that's in the United States. There is implications to trade and to the port. We've put a Canada First policy in place for the township from a procurement standpoint. Is there a place in this document for something like that, or is it better to leave it out? That's it. Other than that, great work.
Through you, Mr. Deputy Mayor, to the Mayor. Great point. Actually, a lot has changed since we did this, but to your credit, you did a terrific job really seeing the future and what things you needed to adjust to really prepare. And ironically, I wouldn't change anything. I think this really well prepares you for those trade challenges that we face. And so I don't think there's a need to really add anything to it. And I think that's the foresight on your part when you put this together.
It certainly focuses a lot on local and regional and supporting, the Eastern Ontario, Western Quebec farms that we do, from a grain standpoint. Yeah, good. That's it. No, I think it's great. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ward?
I don't want to disappoint you,
Oh.
Mr. Deputy Mayor, so I got a few things to say for sure. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly, I think I echo Mr. Cameron's view that the vision and the mission statement are they're spot on, and great job on that for sure. And it's nice and concise, and it sends a nice message on what we're trying to really do here. And I mean, I'm glad to see some of the things like, I've been dealing with inventory all my life, so I'm glad we're looking at an inventory policy to try and figure that out, and just to see what that looks like. I like the idea of a 5-year capital plan. My 2 cents on that is I'm always, when we first started this session of council, the 5-year plan also came with it a 5-year, and it's all forecast, and I understand how that works, but came with it a 5-year cash flow forecast as well, so we can see how we're going to be able to fund these things and have the options to know what we're doing on the funding side of that, and wouldn't mind seeing something like that as well at the same time when we get to doing it. And it sounds like we're also going to be doing it in the fall this year, which is great because it's good to have that heads up before you get into budget season. So I really think that's great, to be honest, and so that's good. I like, I'm trying to shorten my notes because I had more notes than anyway, just kidding. But the asset management plan is really important as well. We know that. We know it's an old building. We want to make sure we're taking care of everything and making sure that we keep ourselves in check there. And the phased approach to the infrastructure was great. One thing that I did call out, and I know I've probably had this conversation a few times, and it's just this transition of key casual roles into full-time positions. It's one of those things where I like agility and being able to be agile, and when you commit to doing that, then it's harder for you to be able to flex your workforce a little bit. So that's just the cautionary tale. I would say that is one of my concerns on doing too much of that, because it does allow you to be able to change the dollars in a bad year, for instance, if you have to from the company's perspective. So, but otherwise, like I said, I thought it was a great plan, and Ed, to your point as well, Mr. Cameron, I like the idea that we had all the regulatory and compliance and safety in here as well. It's so important to see, and I'm glad we captured that all. So good job overall, and happy to be able to sign off on this one for sure. So that's it.
Okay.
Again, Rob, I just have a couple, page 4, I think it's great, the port's roadmap, a clear path. I think that's very important, and we do have a clear path, and this is 7 years for me, going on 8, and we've always had that path. So I'm quite happy that you put that in there. And on the community engagement report, I'm interested in to see that report. I don't know. Do you have that, Leslie? We can get that? Okay. I'd be interested to see some of the comments from our residents. So that was one of mine. And the mission, I'm going to hit it up like the mayor said. I think it's going to be a little uncertainty with the trade agreement. So that there we're going to have to work on. I don't think, I agree with you. I don't think we need to change anything because we are well positioned. So, and last but not least, the viability study that was completed, and there's investors and partners are engaged. And I didn't see any of that. Is that coming too? Page 23, where some new business, I guess, arising? That's all I'm asking.
Are you asking me on it?
Well,
Or is
if
that a
yes,
question to Leslie?
you or Leslie, actually, there's they say investors and partners are engaged. So is there other business coming in that we haven't heard or rocking the boat, or what's that?
No, I think what was identified as part of the strategic planning piece was to look at other opportunities, potential partners or others, and to remain open to that. At this time, we didn't have anything specific. Leslie may have something or may have something down the road, but it was being open to those things that was identified.
Good, thank you. And again, thank you very much for the presentation that you and Leslie or Emily did. And I have one question from Mr. McCauley coming back.
Thanks. And this is purely presentation. It has nothing to do with the content, which is outstanding, but it's page 14, strategic priorities. And I'm thinking about this only in the context of this will be a public document. Would it not be easier for someone to read the strategic priorities if they were bulleted? They are somewhat jammed together, but not in a paragraph. And if they were bulleted, I think each one would be taken in its own right.
We can certainly make that change.
I think if others agree, I think that just makes sense from a readership perspective. That's all. Yeah. Thank you.
So you
Delighted-
have those
delighted to make-
thoughts there, Rob?
Yeah, we're delighted to make the change if you think that it would make it clearer. And I see Emily nodding. Emily is the expert at these things. She's the one that puts the beautiful polish on it all and makes it look so good. All those great pictures, that's Emily once again. So I think it's a good suggestion. We could bullet that.
Good. Before I let you go, Rob, Emily, any other questions, comments, people? Well done again. Rob, Emily, thank you so much.
Thank you
We'll
very
talk to you
much,
soon.
Deputy Mayor. It's been our pleasure, and I have to call out Leslie. You're fortunate to have her. She's been terrific to work with, she and the staff, and we thank you so much for the collaborative relationship. So thank you.
Speak to that.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, we know.
Take care.
Thanks. Take care.
Thank you so
See you,
much.
Rob.
Okay, moving on is number 5, minutes of the previous Port of Johnstown Committee meeting. The Port Management Committee receives and approves the minutes. The Port Management Committee meeting dated June 23rd, 2025. I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Mr. Martell and seconded by Mr. Smell. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. Minutes of the previous port, 6, any business arising from the previous Port Management Committee meeting, if any?
Mr. Chair.
Yep, go ahead.
A question through the chair to whomever can answer it. Have we heard anything from the Historical Society after their presentation? Nothing? Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion items, there's none. Number 8 is action information items, Green Operation Health and Safety Report. The report be presented by Mr. Moulton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Grain operations report for August 2025. We ended the month in pretty good shape with our inventory, 64,826, which puts us in pretty good position. We started the wheat season with a little more wheat than we typically do, but it was lighter this year due to several reasons. One could have been the drought. The feed market into Quebec was extremely strong, so there was a lot of direct shipping. And with the condition of the soybean and corn yield with the drought, a lot of farmers are possibly holding wheat on farm. This let us continue with our cleaning operation that we really took a hold of this year. And we continue to do our confined space entries to do a lot of cleaning. You can see on the inventory report, our wheat is almost exactly where it was the year before. A summary, traffic summary for August, received 22,590 metric tons of wheat. We shipped 3,232 metric tons out on truck and no grain on vessels and nothing on rail. We had a good summer. We had no injuries. We still have the only 2 learning events earlier in the year. And our labor hours, current year, June, July, and August, are 11,792 compared to previous year of 8,266. But at this time last year, we were running pretty lean. The quality reports, we had an August audit and we received an A, which was very good for this time of year. And that's the operations report. I'll do the health and safety right now as well, or do you want to?
Is there any questions, comments on the operations before we move on to the health and safety? Anything? Nothing? Okay, yeah, go ahead, right into the health and safety.
Okay, so John, basically what he did with the health and safety right now is he's been constantly reviewing and updating our procedures and policies. Everything is on a 3-year cycle. And he goes in and checks against current legislation to make sure that our policies are up to date. And that's basically what he's been working on. And that is the safety.
Questions, comments on the safety and health? Anyone? Nothing?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to the maintenance report. Maintenance report will be read by Jeff. Jeff, go ahead.
Okay. Maintenance report for the last 3 months.
there's the typical stuff on here that we do weekly, monthly. Weekly, monthly, quarterly dust system maintenance. We replaced the lagging of number 2 lofter. Lagging is the rubber that goes on the drive pulleys that drives the conveyor belt. Replaced Maxim valve of GSI 4000 dryer. That's the old dryer. This one was damaged by ice falling off the roof. We've remedied that. The valve's been replaced, and we have run that dryer since. Replaced several broken windows throughout the facility. Annual lubrication of all grain handling equipment. Tripper rail inspections and maintenance. Any questions along the way, just stop me and shout them out. Replaced flexible coupling of number 2 lofter. The coupling was still intact, but functioning properly, but was badly checked. So it was showing signs that it was time for it before we had to do it on its terms rather than ours. We filled some large potholes in the riverfront dock. We replaced some missing 6x6 timbers on the riverfront dock. We removed the old grading trailer office and set up the new grading office and washroom trailers supplied by Elantra, so that the guys doing the inspection, grading, and sampling of the grain now have some pretty nice facilities out there right now. Replaced unloading turntable gearbox and motor of GSI 4000 grain dryer. This was purchased in 2024, but we didn't get it installed last year. Pre-harvest maintenance of number 6 and 8 receiving conveyors. We removed Red Wing dust suppressor to determine why grain flow rate is slower through the new truck loading spout. Spout size and hopper design is not large enough for the desired flow rate. So I took some measurements, did some math, and it's just not big enough to get the rate.
So on that one, so when you remove the dust suppressor, it is okay, or is it?
It is not okay.
It's still not okay.
It is not okay.
So on that one, I guess you got to look at what's going on there and see. So like that, is that going to affect us over the next few months? I guess is a big question.
We can still load trucks on it. The question at the time before we removed the Red Wing dust nozzle, because it's just a big impeller, it does slow down the grain flow, but that was not the problem. The problem was when Horse was given the spec, they weren't given the proper spec.
Okay.
So we're going to have to modify it. And the valve that was supplied by Horse, that I spoke with them last week about this, again, they weren't given a spec. They said, just give me a valve. Okay. So what I'm going to do next, or my guys are going to do next, we're just going to remove the valve and see if the flow rate increases, which I'm sure it will. And I'll get a different valve, or we'll modify the one that was there. We'll make it work better. Okay. Right now, it's just a 2-way valve. It goes either to the trucks or to the sea container loader.
Yeah. Part of it makes the job fun, I guess. Eh?
Yeah. So it's, anyways, we're narrowing that one down.
Okay. Thank you.
Inspection maintenance of new dryer equipment.
Sorry, Jeff, on that, is that covered under warranty by any chance?
That one is not.
Okay, thanks.
I am still in discussions with Horse about something for it, between it and the new dryer as well, though. So yeah, inspection maintenance of new dryer equipment, inspection and maintenance of old dryer equipment, installed inspection and clean out doors on bottom of new dryer wet bins. We had an issue with the new wet bins that somehow moisture got in there, and we ended up having to dig one of them out. So we put inspection doors on there so we can do it now more easily. Replaced gas modulating valve on the GSI 4000 grain dryer. The valve flap had become seized, and I mean, this valve doesn't owe us any money. It was there, put in 2005, I believe. So, and we changed that ourselves. We continue with fabrication and installation of conveyor head and tail pulley guarding. Inspection and maintenance of A-tower ship unloading equipment in preparation for corn vessels this fall. Receiving of corn vessels this fall. Annual perimeter fence and gate inspection and maintenance. Work in the electrical department included the following. We prepared lighting circuits in car haul room and new receiving conveyor areas. That's underneath the truck receiving area. Serviced the new dryer, serviced the old dryer. Conducted monthly premise inspection as per GMP requirements. Installed electrical service to new grading office and washroom trailer. Installed new grain sampling and return system from truck probe to grading office. So now the guys that are doing the probing, they no longer have to go up the stairs, take the samples and carry the pails down. It's all done automatically with a vacuum system and return it to the truck the same way. Run temporary power to the north side of the elevator for Samoda for their bin wall repairs. Install and run temporary electrical power to explosion rated ventilation fan and new receiving pit area to try to get rid of the moisture. We do have a water problem there. We've had these fans, I'm not sure when we bought them, that we've never really used them. Well, we just put one in the doorway to the new receiving pit and it did get rid of the moisture, but that isn't the permanent fix. We're aware of that and we'll continue pursuing that one as well. Electrically connect XP rated door openers in the new track shed. This was a leftover job from the new track shed addition. CGC did their annual inspection of ship loading crosscut grain samplers and found everything functioning properly. That one, it doesn't sound like much, but those guys can be very, very picky about the timing sequence of the crosscut samplers. And usually they find something. This time they didn't, so we're kind of thrilled about that. Replaced 20 horsepower motor on annex reclaim conveyor number 3. This one, the motor windings had failed. Install lights and signals for new truck loading and unloading area to Wayman's office so that they can give the truck driver signals, or not truck driver, but the Wayman signals for the trucks to dump or not dump. We had to replace the number 7 scale controller, power supply. Out of those 8 scales, I think we've changed 5 of them now, and that's just, I keep spares. It's just attrition. It's time. Replaced perimeter lights that had failed on a mid-building B. Repaired elevator perimeter lighting. That's around the outside of the elevator along both slips. Replaced motor bearings and basement aerators, 414 and 753. Those are 20 horse motors. We just bring them down the shop, take them apart, and put new bearings in them. And we replaced several light fixtures at the top of the annex bin, as well as along the stairs to the annex bin tops. Contractors. Horses completed new drain, new dryer equipment installation deficiencies, with the exception of the conveyor plug switches. The sensors installed do not function properly in grain dust, and they will be replaced with diaphragm switches, which is covered by warranty. We tried and tried and tried, and they tried to get the new electronic versions to work. They just don't work in grain dust, which is ironic because that's what they're built for. Yeah, there was quite a few discussions over that. Horse was also here and made installation corrections to the new receiving conveyor and transition section into 7 lofter. There were several items that was neglected on their part. None of the bolts from the bottom of the entire length of the conveyor body had been tightened. Flow diverters had to be added to the transition into 7 lofter to prevent the flow of grain from forcing the lofter belt over out of alignment and rubbing on the trunking of the bucket elevator. These are issues that we've managed to, Horse tried to, but we fixed those ourselves. What I want to do is, and I've talked to Horse about this, because we had to replace a $12,000 Maxon valve on the new dryer because it had split. Some of that came back on us. So I told Wayne that, tell you what, you cover that. And there was a gas solenoid also failed, which was not our fault. I said, I'll look after this because they were talking about possibly having to replace the whole conveyor because of the tracking of the lofter. So I'm working on that, and I started holidays Friday night, but on Friday afternoon we actually had it running really well. So Granger Mobile Inspection Unit was here and inspected and certified all working from heights and confined space PPE. Stinson had to replace some thermocouples in 2 of the 5 propane vaporizer units for the new dryer. They had just failed. Don't know why, but they had failed. CGC conducted scale inspection and calibration tests. All scales passed. ACI replaced the top diverter valve at the annex. This was a capital project. Patty Lawless installed 4 new thermal pane windows in old substation area and MRC insulation. Applied spray foam insulation to the ceiling and walls to eliminate condensation and mold buildup over the winter months. This also was a capital project. And I don't think it's updated on Rhonda's sheet, but that project is now complete too. Any questions?
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Mayor. So I guess with all of the GSI 4,000 issues we had throughout the month, is it safe to say because we had the backup in the other one, we were able to use that to cover us through some of these outages or?
Sorry, so the GSI 4000 is the old dryer.
Yeah.
And that one job, the turntable, that was going to be done last year. We just didn't get to it.
Yeah.
And the old gearbox was still working, so we could still use it. So we're basically playing catch up from last year.
Yeah, no, I meant, but did we end up using the new grain dryer more because of the down? We had a lot of downtime. It looks
No,
like
we had planned on using the new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now
Sounds
that we've
good.
got the bugs worked out of that.
Okay, sounds good. And there was one thing that where did it go? Just a second. Sorry about that. Actually, come back to me. I'll let somebody else talk and I'll come back to that one.
Anybody else want to jump in? Go ahead, Mr. Smell.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. To Jeff, I just got a question. I'd like a little advice on, when you say you, under the electrical stuff, you service the new dryer and you service the old dryer, what does it consist of? Like, what do you mean, do you service them? You just walk through them, make sure everything's running right, or?
We go over the conveyors, we go over the bucket elevators, we go over the burner, we go over the igniters, the flame sensors, everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'd actually drill out the complete manifolds of the burners, which it is just a big barbecue burner. But there's thousands of holes in it. So, but they do build up with carbon, have to be drilled out.
Thank you.
Did your train of thought come back, Mr. Ward?
Well, it was a bit about the propane, actually, the propane vaporizer. So those are just ones from last year that were installed in the fall, right?
Yes, they are.
So just an early latent failure of some
Yep.
sort. And yeah, okay, circuitry or something.
And
like that.
actually they couldn't really explain why. It happened.
Okay,
And all the thermocouple is, it reads temperature.
yeah, it's just something like that. So,
Yeah, it's not a big expense.
No.
no.
Was it covered? Did they do it for nothing,
No, they didn't.
Stenson's? No way.
I didn't even ask.
No, I'm
Fair.
just wondering because,
I thought they would, but they didn't.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So is our new dryer up to snuff now?
Yes, it
Do you
is.
think
It is.
working good?
It is. The
Okay.
last run
Because
was,
we had some issues there last year starting off, right?
we did. We had a lot of issues, but the last run was what, like 2 weeks ago? And it ran like a top.
Yeah, we blew through the wheat with it.
Yeah.
We put all the wheat out to the annex this year and it worked very well.
You did all the wheat with it, with the new one? Oh, good.
Yep.
Good. Nice to hear then. But we're still gonna do corn on the 7 and beans in the small. Okay, good. Any other questions, comments? Go ahead, Mr. Cameron, you're on.
Thanks very much. Realizing maybe going back a bit, but with regards to beans, maybe I missed it, but have we started to receive beans at the port yet? And if so, how much and what's the moisture ballpark?
We received 95 loads today. We've scheduled to do 100 a day this week.
Okay.
We did probably 50 loads a week last week. We've probably brought in 300 loads so far and only 3 are wet. I would say the average moisture coming in right now is 10%. Extremely dry.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Good report. We'll move on to 8C, Financial and Traffic Report. Rhonda, go ahead.
Thank you. So since our last meeting in June, we have seen a decrease in the revenue over the last 3 months of approximately 790,000 compared to 2024. We did anticipate this as the corn export project was completed in the first part of 2025, where last year it continued through till September. That being said, our revenue still remains strong at an overall year-to-date increase of 470,000 over 2024. The port's expenses also saw an increase over the last 3 months of 387,000. There's many factors that contribute to that. Obviously, labor benefits. We conducted more necessary training that hadn't been completed. over the last few years. Leslie did the marine security training, loading spout repairs, lifeline service and repairs, along with the timing of some of our sponsorships, as this year the port focused more on agricultural and local youth programs and more of the local fairs. And also new to the port this year, we're supporting several of the local youth programs. So it's the timing of whenever all of that comes in. And also our rental fees did see an increase due to the new trailer and washroom facilities that Jeff mentioned earlier. Below is a snapshot up to the end of the second quarter. At the end of August, we're sitting at a year-to-date loss in our surplus of 124,000. We anticipate or hope to make that up in September, but of course that's going to be dependent on when soybean really starts coming in, and which obviously we're the latter part of the month, we're seeing it more this week, and it'll depend on the quality due to the exceptionally dry summer, which we're hearing mixed reviews of what the quality and quantity is going to be like. So, and then the second page or the next page is just your kind of your breakdown describing some of the points why the differences, and following that's the vessel report. We're still running ahead of last year on total throughput for traffic due to the corn, obviously, at the start of the year. The salt boats were behind on a couple, but there's 2 or 3 lined up for September, and a couple have come in lined up for October. So hopefully that'll all start to catch up. Any questions?
Questions, comments? Mr. Ward?
I didn't have any questions on this, but I'll wait till we get to the disbursements. Actually, it's probably better to put it there.
Any other questions, comments? Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, sure. We're down in the salt. We have contracts. Are we past the amount that we're contracted to have in?
One of them is, the other one's hasn't quite hit their total yet.
Okay. And do we anticipate them hitting that
I
total?
think so.
Yeah,
I would assume
with
they
what's
will.
coming in?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would assume they will.
Okay.
Took my question away, but anyway, that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Any other questions, comments, people? On the breakdown of revenue and expenses? Nothing? Okay, thank you. Moving on to D, the GM's report. Go ahead.
Thank you. So just quickly, I'll run through the various items here on the report. So we did receive a provincial officer's order for our salt management operations plan, which was expected after council over the past year and a half or so have had some discussions with the ministry at various conferences to thank them for, I guess, being less harsh on us. We have been working closely with the ministry and our colleagues at Rideau Bulk to make sure that we're in compliance with our with MECP. So we do have like I said, the provincial officer's order, and our inspector has been on site a little more frequently, but we don't anticipate any future issues with that. And Rideau Bulk staff have been supportive of our plan. The Transport Canada Marine Facility Security Assessment has been completed. So we're just in the process of reviewing our security assessment, and we will submit that before recertification next September. We did have a special council meeting in August, I believe it was, as our agreement, our stevedoring operating agreement was coming due for renewal at the end of August. So at the time, council did entertain a 2-year extension with exclusive rates to Logistec and Rideau Bulk for stevedoring services. So we've delivered to them the expectations on supporting us with business development. And for the next 2 years, we'll assess and bring that back in 2 years' time. We continue to work on business development and marketing initiatives. For those that may be online, Facebook and social or LinkedIn. We've been doing some new drone footage and some pictures. So that's really helping support our work that we're doing in new marketing initiatives. The videos seem to really capture attention, and there's a local gentleman that lives right in Johnstown that's been doing the work for us. So we're happy with that. And I think we're going to be able to develop some really fun marketing initiatives and use some of the pictures and videos on our future website, which is included as part of our strat plan. So that's exciting. Also, 2 weeks ago, I was able to present to Logistec's US and international sales team just to basically have it was called Port Talks. So there was 30+ salespeople on that team, and just an overall intro to the Port of Johnstown, which unfortunately hadn't happened to date, but I think we'll over time see some business develop out of that. Like I said, just continue to work alongside Logistec on ensuring that everybody knows that we're open for business and looking to facilitate any kind of opportunity that comes our way. Internally, we completed an RFP for cleaning and janitorial services. So we've renegotiated a 5-year contract with the existing provider. Mike spoke to the rail safety training that had been completed, so that's necessary, and we've been able to train some new staff on that. We welcomed a co-op student from St. Michael's Catholic High School in Kemptville. So he started now and will be with us till the end of January, and he is planning to attend University of Guelph in the agricultural program next fall. And then just continuing, although the strategic plan was only being brought forward tonight for approval, we've been trying to work ahead on some of the initiatives because we're just so excited to get there. That's all for now.
Questions, comments? Go ahead, Mr. McCauley.
With respect to the salt storage issue, there's reference to, let's see, get it right. They're allowing the township or the port to attempt to tighten up housekeeping practices at the site to see if there was a decrease in salt migration. Do they have a date by which we have to achieve that? Is there ongoing monitoring that we need to do relative to the salt migration? So, I mean, we've got something in place now. What happens now that we have that in place?
So they will continue to do check-ins and monitor us over a 365-day period and then report back. Ultimately, what the ministry staff, not politically, but the ministry staff have alluded to the fact that the preferred route the ministry is going is covered storage for the entire dock, which that would be a hefty investment, and I'm not sure something that, would be entertained by the township. So this was our last attempt to say, like, please let us, work closely with the retention pond, which Jeff checks on a weekly basis, and we do proper housekeeping. We make sure that the salt is swept after every unload. And so far, it's only been a few months, but so far we've been having a good working relationship with our inspector, and I'm hoping that it doesn't go to that where I guess the next plan for them would be to cease operations until we have a longer term covered storage plan.
Just to follow up on that, and
Yeah.
probably a longer conversation, but if no salt was stored on the dock, if it all moved over to where Rideau Bulk is, does that solve the problem?
Primarily, yes. So you mean if it was unloaded and immediately all
Yeah.
transferred? Yes, unfortunately, they don't have enough space at that site particularly. And then it becomes the problem. And I think politically, you've also spoken this, like the differing ministries, right? So MECP is guiding us, but then if there's no salt or a reduction in salt, then the Ministry of Transportation is going to become agitated, right? Because we're not going to be able to supply our Eastern Ontario municipalities. So
I don't
it's
want to get
difficult,
solutions,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if at a point we said, can salt be migrated to our laydown area?
Yeah.
And the dock becomes a laydown area? Does that solve the problem? Again, that's just an open-ended question, but those are the sort of things
Yeah.
I assume we'll have to get to if
we
we
can,
have
and
to.
yeah,
Thank you.
Are you saying, Frank, to take the salt off the dock where it comes in off the wharf now and put it at the lay down up above?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
potentially.
looking? Yeah, yeah.
If the salt could be taken off the dock
Right.
to another location, would that be acceptable to the ministry? And for putting it in laydown area, well, then maybe the dock becomes laydown area. It's just a different use of
Mhm.
property.
Right. Any other questions, comments? Mr. Ward?
So I guess you stole half my question, but that's okay, Frank. So on the other side of that, it sounds like we think we have a plan, and it is there, other than whatever, you know, sweeping and everything else, is there more that we're thinking of? And if you can divulge it, I guess, and is there a cost we anticipate for that effort, I guess, as well? So
To be frank,
he's Frank.
to be that was good. Okay. Yeah, Leslie.
Can't make this up.
Okay, so to be honest, the simple answer that I'll provide you with is that it's relationship building
Yeah.
and treating others with kindness and welcoming them to the port, being open and transparent with them and having open dialogue
Yeah.
and letting them know, informing them if a vessel discharge date is changing. That's what I think is going to be our success.
Right. Nope. And fair enough. I mean, it's a very tricky topic. We talked about it. We've probably put lots and lots,
Yeah.
hundreds of hours into this conversation in this room, probably alone. And so I was just wondering if there was maybe something else we were contemplating, but no, that's good. I appreciate the answer. So thank you.
Questions, comments? Anyone else? Okay. Moving on to E, capital projects. Report will be, I guess, Leslie, Mike, and Jeff. Go ahead.
So I think as we alluded to at the June meeting, it is anticipated right now that probably item number 1, the covered storage unit, will be requesting to defer to 2026. The receiving areas, maybe Jeff and Michael, let you talk to that about what is outstanding at this point. Is there anything further than what you talked about?
All I have is I'm still waiting for the Haslock study back from the engineering company in Cornwall.
And then next on the list is the grading and quality control lab. So Jeff spoke to this and I did have it in my report as well. So Elantra that is down the road on Highway 2, they supply temporary kind of storage facilities, but you can also build to suit. So that is the preferred route that we're going. Unfortunately, the ETA for construction is not into 2026, but we were able to have a lease provision for both units. Ideally, we would have one unit. This has kind of been years, so I'm talking to a school here. If you want to cover.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this has probably been on this list for many years. I know it was on there when I came to the port. And I think at the end, we've decided that putting a permanent building there probably wouldn't be the best thing to do because we don't know what we're going to end up with out there yet. You know, we may end up putting a third truck lane or we may end up putting more storage out there. So putting something in that's movable makes more sense to us. And it ends up, you know, we can have a very nice testing facility, a quality lab with restroom facilities for truck drivers all in one unit for about half the value of what we've had in there to put a permanent building in. So we're pretty happy with the option to go with a trailer, but unfortunately we just can't get it this year. They're extremely busy.
Questions, comments on that, Mr. Ward?
Of course I do. So I had a question about disbursements, but we'll bring it up now instead. So the cost of the trailers was about $7,600, I think, or something like that. Is that a per month? Like,
No, there was some upfront money that had to go into that. I think it was like
It was like-
$2,500 a month or something like that for rent.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was thinking at $7,500 a month, we could build them a pretty nice, you know, 5,000 or 6,000 square foot home probably or something
Yeah.
like that to live in instead. So, okay. Then thank you very much. That's good.
Any other questions, comments? So do you have the design or are you working with the interests of what you got, what you people want on that?
We sent them a design and they came back and quoted it and sent it back to us. But again, they told us the construction wouldn't be till I think middle of 26.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Yeah.
But you're happy with everything that they came back with?
Yeah, we made the design and we gave it to the guys. I mean, the grading trailer and got their input and we put it together and they designed it for us.
That's good, because I'll tell you, the truckers are gonna thank us.
Yeah, they're already pretty happy.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
so happy.
Yeah, and our guys are, I mean, thrilled.
Well,
Yeah,
the
we
growth for me, like.
Brought them ahead
you
of
know,
it 30
yeah.
years.
Oh, I'm glad. Good. Thank you. Job well done, guys. Thanks. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, you can go ahead.
Yeah, no, they're going to build it to your spec and the way that you want it. Are they going to build it to the budget that's there?
Oh, way less.
I think it's about half of that.
Nice. Yeah. So then it's a really good news story then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Mike, before we move on, do you just want to speak to the Skippy, the bin wall?
Oh.
Oh,
Just hold on. Is there any other questions, comments on this? Okay, go ahead then, Mike.
Yeah, so the painting on the bin walls, we just last week had someone come in and do an inspection because we're having some leaking with 3 or 4 of the bins, and I was not happy with the contractors who did the original painting. So we hired another company to come in and look at it and give an assessment on it, and he found where there's actually some cracks that didn't get sealed properly. So he's now working on giving us a quote on fixing the original 10 and another quote on doing 2 more that are leaking very badly on that side. And we'll try them this year. And then if it works, then we'll put it back out for tender again next year. But I want to make sure, I was down at the Jeeps conference in March down in Kansas City and talked to several guys who treat concrete bins, and everyone recommended exactly what we did. And when I told him the problem we were having, he said it wasn't installed right. And, you know, it was confirmed this week that it wasn't installed right. So we're going to get it fixed and have another look at it and keep going forward with this option.
The company local, Mike, that's doing it?
Skippy.
Pardon?
Skippy's painting. Very
Yeah?
local. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's a very good painter. When I've worked for other company, he did all our stuff.
Holy, you caught me
Yeah.
off guard there. Really? You did?
You did.
Wow.
We had so much talent, so local.
Well, yeah, that's where I was going, you know. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Any other comments, questions? Before I go ahead, Mr. Smell, you're on.
Thank you, dear Mayor. To Mike, once you get this done, what's the length of time you plan on waiting till we get the whole thing done, painted and everything?
I like to cycle it for a year. So this time next year, we'll know. I like to go through a cold season and a hot season.
I
Thank
think he wants the whole elevator done.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
yeah, I know he does. Everyone does. But I mean, that's,
You were talked earlier about jumping 30 years ahead, like we'd come ahead about 100 years ahead if we painted it.
I completely agree. And no one wants to see it painted more than we do. We look at it every day. Yeah, that would certainly be the next step for sure if this works, but we just need to make sure that it works. We don't want to spend all that money and then keep chasing the same problem.
That's good management. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, huh? Go ahead.
So on that again, Mike, I can't recall. I feel like it's either 400 or 800K. How much have we put into the paint jobs that were done prior so far?
40,000.
Oh, it's only 40,000?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that over the
Yeah.
past few years. Okay. So never mind then. It's okay. Thank you.
Questions, comments? Any? Okay, moving on.
Do you want to do the other one?
Oh, microphone.
Oh, maybe he's not.
Thank you.
Hold on. Do you have anything else to say? No. Okay.
Good. Okay, the Port Management Committee received and reviewed 8A Green Operation Health and Safety Report, B Maintenance Report, C Financial and Traffic Report, D, general manager's report, and E, capital project report. I need a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Mr. Ward and seconded by Mr. Smell. Any question, comments on that? All in favor? Carried. Strat plan report, you're up. Leslie, on that one, please.
Thank you. So I won't speak much to this as we did have the delegation this evening, but I just want to confirm that this is a document that we're happy and very proud of. It came in within budget, and we're just seeking that the Port Management Committee recommend that council approve the Port of Johnstown strategic plan.
On that, the recommendation with the changes that we asked for tonight, please?
Sure. As amended?
Yeah,
We put in the, yeah.
would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So I need a mover and a seconder on that, please. Moved by Mr. Martell and second by Mr. Deschamps. Any questions, comments? All in favor? Carried. That's a pretty easy one. Approval and disbursements, port accounts. Did everyone have time to look at it? That the Port Management Committee recommends that council, the Township of Evansburg Cardinal approves the payments of port invoices circulated and numbered as follows. Batch number 22 checks, $390,653.25. Batch 23 EFTSs, $134,559.69. And batch 24 checks, $10,985.40. Total is $536,194.34. Total of the direct withdrawal batch list is $694,684.89. I need a mover and a seconder on that, please. Moved by Mr. Smale, second by Mr. Ward. Any questions or comments on the disbursements, please? Good? Really? Okay.
Well, I was allowed to speak earlier to get my question out of the way, so
All-
I can ask another question if you want. Let me think here.
all-
No, I'm good,
all-
I'm good.
All in favor? Carried.
Microphone.
Go. Council inquires notice of motions, if any. Go ahead.
Thank you. Through the chair, I would like to make the motion that we put options for Fraser House on the October port meeting as a discussion item, please.
What's that house called again? Little John's?
Little John's.
No,
House.
but what is it?
Fraser.
Fraser. For October?
Yes, please.
Do I need a mover or a seconder for that? No. Okay, thank you. We'll be on. Have you got that notice? Okay, good. Any other inquiries or notice of motions? None? Okay, chair's report. I just have a short one. First, on August 26th, we had Minister of Agriculture and Food and Agribusiness, Minister Jones down. He had a visit at our port. Left me with encouragement and good feelings that the province and the government has us, the Port of Johnstown, on the radar. So I really felt very, very comfortable with that. Also, at that same meeting, and as chair and to the public, I'd like to extend my apologies to John Marshall of the South Grenville Beacon and Clint Cameron, our board member, for being stuck up on the roof of our port. I do apologize deeply. We are in the port management and staff are in the works of working hard to have a safety procedures in place for all visitors entering our port. So again, Clint, very sorry, and John, if you're watching, sorry. That is my report. Question period. Nobody here? Okay, we are going into closed session. Ready? All right. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Well, on behalf of John Vickers, Marshall, and myself, I can say honestly, there's no apologies necessary that weren't already expressed, but thank you for the consideration. It made for a great op-ed for the South Grenville Beacon. If you haven't read it, John took it in stride and had a very good sense of humor about the whole situation. So all good. With regards to Minister Jones's visit, I ran into him 2 nights later at a function back in Ottawa, had another good chat with him. He had nothing but positive things to say about the port and his time down at the port. His extended time at the port, he was there a lot longer than he thought because he took a call out in the parking lot. And he got a really good impression. Then he came in at the end, and I think he really enjoyed the photo ops that went on at the end of the visit. There were some impromptu ones, smaller group, etc., and it went very well. So very positive, and yes, I think he has a very good outlook on the Port of Johnstown. He also now, after a further discussion, I think he has a better understanding of what the Edwardsburg Cardinal Land Bank is and the potential to the township there, because he was intrigued by some of the comments he heard that day. The last thing I'll say is with regards to crop yields and the harvest coming off this fall in the province of Ontario. I was on a call today with Deputy Minister Kelly through the Ontario Agricultural Commodities Association. Nobody really knows what it's going to come in at yet, but it's safe to say it's going to be a lot lower than we hope for and we project. Beans are coming off around a ton, 1.1 an acre for the most part in areas where they're coming off. A lot of beans across the province, Toronto East, have already been disked down or taken off for forage. They will not be salvageable and they will not be combined. Agricorps is not going to force people to take beans off at a further loss when they're already going to pay out. So environmentally responsible, I'd say, but I don't know what the contracts are with the brokers that we have in place, but corn's also in a similar situation. The yields are going to be down significantly from last year. In this area in particular, we're very hard hit, and they are preparing now for substantial payouts on claims. They do not yet have a number. They will not release a number, but they know it's going to be a lot less. So going forward, as we keep in mind expenses and revenue potential, expenses and revenue, you might want to start thinking about the potential trend going forward. That said, there is an opportunity for storage. And I'll tie that into the fact that the American corn and bean population right now is they're looking at a really good crop yield, and they haven't signed a contract yet with China for beans. So I don't know if there's ever been a migration of bean storage coming north to the elevator. They may be looking for storage because they're going to run out of on-farm. They're still carrying crop over from last year. And this year they're going to have a decent crop and they've got no place to go with it for the most part. Brazil's backfilled the US demand that's been there in the past 5+ years. So supply down, storage potential may be up, and just I'd like to keep that in the forefront of everybody around the table. Thank you.
Microphone.
Thank you again, Mr. Cameron.
You're welcome. And in all fairness, not the first time I've been down those stairs.
Okay, we're going to proceed. The committee is going to proceed in the closed session.
Want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Chris Ward, the committee proceeds into closed session at 7:35 PM in order to address a matter pertaining to section 239 2K, position plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality or local board, specifically approve the minutes of May 20th, 2025 closed session, and section 239 2B, personnel matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, specifically collective bargaining mandate and a 6-month observation and organizational review.
Thank you. Going to call the question. All in favor? Thank you. We're going to take a 5-minute recess, 5-minute recess. Clear the room. Thank you. Thank you. Reported that the closed meeting committee does now adjourn at the opening meeting, does now resume at 9:14 PM. I need a mover and a seconder.
By myself, seconded by Councillor Waddy.
Okay, 9:14. All in favor? Okay, thank you. And now I'll read the motion that the committee receives and approves the minutes of the closed session dated May 20th, 2025. Who has
I
it?
have the stamp. Moved by myself, seconded by Councilor.
Microphone. Sorry.
I thought I was speaking on, if there's only 5 victims in here. Thank you for the information. Anyway, moved by myself, seconded by Councilor Joe Martell, that the committee receives and approves the minutes of the closed session dated May 20th, 2025.
All in favor? Carried. And reported a close, we gave direction, committee gave directions to support manager on a meeting October 6th, 2025. And the committee does now adjourn at,
No,
you
Councillor
got it.
Ward has the motion.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Moved by myself and seconded by Mayor Tory Deschamps that the committee adjourn at 9:16 PM.
all in favor? Carried.